Okay, all my crafting friends, we're back again, ready to do some more fun Christmas decorations. So, I did say we were going to try to do some ornament type decor this week, and so I'm going to be working with this self-adhesive wall tile from Dollar Tree this week. I'm also going to be using a wood snowflake that comes in a package of, I think, 8 from Dollar Tree. This is just a cutout from a calendar on the back of the calendar that you buy at Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that as a centerpiece on my snowflake. And then we are going to be attaching the self-adhesive wall tile to a wood ornament from Dollar Tree. And then we will also deck out the top part with a piece of foil to make it look like it has a cap on top, just like an ornament. So we're going to just be kind of playing around with this, starting with the tile. We're going to take and do some interesting things. So I'm going to get set up right here for our start, and I'm going to go ahead and we will be using Waverly Matte Finish acrylic paint in the color of sandstone. So we'll be changing this to a sandstone color, and I think it's going to go really well with the piece on earth. So, and I may distress it a little bit. We'll see. We'll play and have a little fun today. So let me grab a few more things and we'll get started. But I think I've got it. I just need to get my paintbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and unpackage this and get it ready to be sized for and I'll bring it back on when we get ready to size it. See you in a little bit. All right, so I think I'm ready now. So I got a little piece of foil that I'm going to use on the top as a finishing touch. But, and I went and grabbed some burnt umber that I'm going to use to do a little bit of distressing. So, yeah, I've never done distressing. I've never worked with any of these tile pieces before, so this is a newbie for me. So I'm excited for what's going to happen. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to do it at an angle. I don't want to put my piece on it like this. I kind of want to get as much of the design as I can onto my piece. And so I'm going to line my tip up to the corner down here. Trying to make sure I'm in frame for y'all. And I'm going to use a Sharpie to kind of matching them up on the points here. Just kind of trying to talk it through so you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm lining up the point in the middle here. And then I'm lining up the points across here too. So basically I'm just going to trace around my design just to make sure that I get all the pieces, and I might just cut that off because I am going to put that foil there. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight line because with the detail of the tile it's going to be a little rough, but and that's okay, just as long as I have a line to follow when I'm cutting out. So today we're going to be using a little bit of paint. I'll probably do some painting and stop and go dry it and then bring it to add the details to it. So I'm just going to use some scissors to cut this out, and I'm not gonna bore you too much. I'm just gonna go ahead and just start the cutting, and then I'm gonna stop my video and go ahead and, by the magic of camera, it'll be done. So we'll just basically just cut out following the line and just going around to get your design cut out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so if you're a crafter like me, definitely don't throw this in the trash, because you can always find something to do with this in your crafter stash. So I would stash it away. Don't get rid of the scraps. So it looks like to me, okay, I'm just kind of, guys, I'm very new to this. It says it's self-adhesive. I think this is not, there's no stickiness to it. So just so you know, if you've never worked with this before, there's no stickiness to the back of this. I believe that this sheet right here is what is the sticky part. So I'm going to use hot glue to glue this on to my arrangement, and I guess I won't be using this paper, because I guess when you buy it, yeah, that we won't be using that paper. So forget the adhesive part of it. It's not going to be adhesive other than hot gluing. So I got my hot glue gun warming up over here, getting ready. But in the process, we're going to go ahead and get this ready for using on our design. So I don't want to mess this design up too bad. So what I'm going to do is, hang on, I forgot one thing. I want a cutting mat to be able to cut this out. So let me grab that real quick. And I believe I have one right here. I just need to figure out how to get it loose. Just a minute. I'll be right back. It's nothing like being not prepared. All right, here's a mat that I bought from Dollar Tree a few years ago. I'm going to use as my cutting mat because I am going to take a X-Acto knife and I'm going to trace around the design here and just cut the centerpiece out because I want to have this open for my centerpiece design that I want to put in the middle. So I'm going to just basically just take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut. I'm going to save some time because I have three little crafts that I want to show y'all tonight. So I'm just going to pause you for a minute while I cut this center out. Guys, I have news for you. I tell you what, the people that do this kind of stuff, they are experienced and they know what they're doing. But I am like sitting here going, this ain't working. So I'm going to try from the back and see if I can get a better cut. It's almost like cutting one of them plastic cups. That's kind of the material it feels like it's made out of. I think I've got a run, so I'm gonna keep just taking my time to cut it out, just so you can see. I wanted to come back on because I was like having difficulty with the front. I thought I was done, and then I wasn't. And I picked it up, and it's like nothing happened. Okay, just so you know, it's better to cut from behind and put a little pressure on it with your X-Acto knife and just go around the edges. So just make sure that, you know, one, that you have the cutting mat underneath to protect your surface, and then two, just work your way around. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. Okay, well, my helper is here, Miss Smitty. She's decided that I can't cut this out without her assistance. So, yes, it took a little bit of elbow power. You really got to push into it, and you know, just take your time and eventually you'll get it to cut out, but it's a lot easier to cut it out from behind. So that's just a little tip for you. Make sure you turn it over to the back side and cut on the back side, and you get a nice little window. You'll kind of see the idea, and we save this, save because we can always use it on something else. So what we're going to basically do is we will be putting this onto our wood piece. I'm going to paint this. In fact, I think I will glue this on and paint everything because I want the wood to be painted too. So instead of painting two different pieces, I'll just paint one piece. But basically what I've seen others do is just put a bead of glue down on the board and just stick it on there. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like everybody else does, right? We follow our crafter friends. Whatever they do, we do. Oh no, except for I think they do a lot better job. Yikes. All right, y'all probably have the same problem too that I have. Want to get it lined up and don't want to burn myself. It can happen with hot glue. You can burn yourself. Be careful. I want to get the hot glue webs off of it. Now it's not laying exactly where I want it to lay. So I don't know if I should just take it off and redo it. How about we not do that? We're not going to do that. We're just going to say, okay, we made a mistake. You know, I can live with my mistakes. Like I said, if it's something that I'm not selling, it's just for me and my benefit. So I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna layer some glue down here. And I may just, whoop. I don't know why I put glue in there. Y'all, this is crazy. I went a little crazy there. The wrong place, huh? Let me see if I can maybe, yeah, well, okay, there you go. There it is. Do you ever have those days when you just go, what did I just do? My fellow tape crafters, please give me a... Oh, put a laugh emoji in there. You know, it's just one of those kind of things. Yeah, we're going to get some texture here that we don't want, but oh well. When I get the this piece in here, I think that it's going to be okay. It'll give it a little dimension. Yeah, it's going to stick if I put it there right now. Okay, so I want this to be white though, so I'm going to make sure I get some white paint for the dill, and we'll get that on that. Okay, so next step, we got this, so now we're going to paint. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some white paint so that I can paint my snowflake too at the same time, and we can get that going as well. All right, well, here we go. All right, we are going to attempt to add some sandstone. So I'm just going to basically just pour it onto my craft project here, and then we'll use the paintbrush to spread it out. This is a chalk paint, so it will dry at it, but it's okay. It's the color I want. It's the color I'm going for, because once I add the what is the word I'm trying to come up with? Oh my goodness. I can't think of it. I said it earlier and now it just went blank. Well, you know what word I was trying to say. Oh my goodness. Okay. So anyways, so I'm going to paint even over the board part here. You're going to get this color in here to kind of mask the metal piece here and give it kind of a, might have to put 2 coats of this on here, but I'm going to set this aside and let it dry while we work on another piece, and then we'll come back to this piece. So we're going to do it in sets. You're going to see a little bit of this one and another project, and yeah, so we'll just kind of do them in sets, and then we'll come back and you can see we'll put the pieces together to finalize it. So basically I want to get this base coat down and add some more of the chalk paint. And there's Miss Smitty again. She is going to be in the middle of my project today. Y'all can't see her, but she's over here supervising, making sure I put it on correctly. She smells that paint, and it's a new smell for her. Basically, I'm just making sure that all the gray pieces are covered with the paint. And this chalk paint is going to dry. It'll dry to where, right, it'll dry so that we can put more on. I may put 2 coats, so we may come back. I may put 2 coats on this after it dries. So, and I am going to speed the process up. I know some of y'all are probably going to use a heat gun. I don't have a heat gun, but I do have a blow dryer, so I'm probably going to take it in and give it a quick dry with the blow dryer, and then bring it back and put another coat on the paint. So I'll be right back. I think I am going to go for a second coat. I'm going to tell you right now, because I can see some of the gray coming through, and I know that it's not going to be a solid color that I want it to be for my final product. So my final creation. So I'm going to work on this, and I'll be right back and we will either continue with this craft or we will start another one and then finish this one. We will definitely finish all crafts today. We might do them in different segments, so you'll get a little piece of everything. Okay, so while we're painting, I want to go ahead and get some white paint on the on this snowflake. So I'm going to put some paint on it and get it painted. And guys, I normally don't pour paint on stuff and do painting like this. This is kind of a sloppy way of painting. I usually put it into a container and use a container. I'm just in kind of a, just trying to do it quickly. So I'm going to put this like on the side here and just let it dry. And I'm painting my snowflake white, but it's not going to be, it's going to be okay because it's going to dry white, and then I'm going to add some sparkle to it so that it kind of glistens almost like a snowflake. And I have some shiny snowflakes in my decorations that I use. So anyways, so that's, I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll put the ornament back on here too and let it dry as well. And we'll be right back. Okay, so here's the next one that I wanted to do. I want to just do, I'm taking one of the Dollar Tree round ornament decors, and we are going to put a Dollar Tree calendar on the back. This was from 2021. So basically, I'm going to also do the same thing, but I'm also going to enhance it. So I'm going to Mod Podge this, but I'm also going to use foil for this side. I know that I probably could just take this piece off and re-glue it, but I'm just going to use foil. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to be different. Is it okay to be different? I'm just going to be a little different, I think. So I'm just going to basically line this up, center it a little bit, on the, using the piece at the top here to center it. And then I'm just going to flip it over, and real simply I'm going to draw a line around. Guess I ought to get the ticket off of the price tag off of it. And then, have y'all seen these at Dollar Tree this year? I don't think. Okay. So how many of you have gotten your Christmas trees up? I have to say that I normally do not put my Christmas tree up until Black Friday. That is my day of putting my Christmas tree up. And I think I said that on a video before. But I have to admit, this year is a little different. I decided to put my tree up early. I put it up last week, and instead of putting my Christmas ornaments on it, I put fall ornaments on it, and I'm very pleased with the outcome of how it turned out. So that was a new for me, a new way of doing things. So again, I'm going to cut this out. Y'all don't need to see me cut. Just basically follow the line as you cut. I'm just going to take the time to cut it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, for this one, I am going to resort to using my Mod Podge to glue it on. So just to protect my desk surface, I'm going to put down some wax paper to do my Mod Podging on. And so I'm going to just basically put some Mod Podge, and I think I've learned a lesson about Mod Podge. So let's see how well I do this time as far as not getting too overly excited about using the Mod Podge and use too much. And it's funny because I've been watching some of my YouTuber friends doing their crafts, and I've heard them say the same thing about not using a lot of Mod Podge. So we're a learning crew, I guess. So we're going to put just a really thin coat of Mod Podge, and yes, I'm going to put it up here too. And then we're just going to lay down our design on top of the Mod Podge. So I'm going to try to spread it out as much as possible. and get it over all the surface of my ornament here. And these are just basically these are wall hangings. You hang them on your wall. You can put them, you can set them if you want to. I guess you could. I mean, okay, so basically we're going to put some glue all over the surface, and I'm going to make sure that I make it really thin. And we're just going to pull the glue on through. And now we got all the glue on all the surface, and I think it's a pretty thin layer, so I'm hoping that this is not going to take as long as the other one. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put a layer on top, but we'll see. So basically, I'm just going to lay my calendar piece on top, try to line it up. I think with this Mod Podge, I should be able to have a better, yeah. So I'm going to just use my hands to make sure that it gets layered on here. I'm going to tell y'all, the last time, I don't know if y'all have seen my video, y'all can go back and look, but the video that I did where I put the Mod Podge on the window clings, and then I put them on the cutter, the cutting boards, glass cutting boards from Dollar Tree. It took those things a week to dry. Now, I had seen someone do it. Of course, they do pieces and then they come back and show you the final product. And I do have, I'll have to bring some in a minute. I'll show you some of the final products. Now, don't worry about the edges here, because we are going to finish these edges off with, I'm going to use an emery board of all of things, once I find where I put it, to use it kind of like a sandpaper and just kind of brush those edges off. I probably need to get my other tool to get the bubbles out. See if y'all can see the bubbles, the wrinkles. But it's okay, because I'm going to add some three-dimensional to this. I've got some ideas of some branches that I would like to add to it. So we're going to add some pieces to it to kind of bring it out and make it a little bit more three-dimensional. As far as the foil is concerned, we will... since I already have my Mod Podge out, I am going to shape this foil around the piece here. And just kind of get it. Well, boy, y'all getting like all kinds of stuff today. Yeah, is this fun or what? Crafting is always a unique thing, but I hope that through this y'all can see that, it's okay to make mistakes, and sometimes you have to kind of play with it to see what's going to work and what's not going to work. But just a simple piece of foil can give you that effect of that top piece on your ornament. So that is going to be right here. We are not done with this. This is just the base. We are going to be adding some other things to this to kind of bring it off of the round piece. But that's a start to something, and we'll get, let me find that emery board real quick. Okay, so I found my emery board. It's just basically a Christmas one. I'm sure it came from Dollar Tree. I don't know for sure. It was a Christmas gift given to me. So I've seen somebody using a sandpaper, but basically that's kind of what an emery board is, a sandpaper. So we're just going to run it along the side here and just kind of tear those pieces off. And I'm just going to run it around. I'm not going to have y'all watch me do the whole thing, but I'm just going to run it along the side here all the way around and taking these pieces off, and I'll bring you right back when I finish getting all of these pieces just kind of sanded off the side. Y'all see what I'm doing here? Just kind of taking the paper and giving it a little bit of a finished edge. And I'm just going to work my way all the way around until I get all the pieces taken off. So, kind of gives it a nice finish look. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm finishing it up here, and I remembered the word rustic. We want to give it that rustic look, so or that age-worn look. That was the word I was looking for. I don't know why that word just slipped me, but that's what we'll probably end up doing with this too. But as you can see, my edges are just took my edges down a little bit. And when you look at it, it makes it really look like it's part of the piece, other than, maybe I should use this side. I can use this side to kind of press it down. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside and let it dry. We are gonna add some more decorations to it. There's more to that we're gonna add. Let's take a look at our painted piece and see how we're coming along with that as far as drying is concerned. And then we will add another coat, possibly. I think we're not quite at the dry stage, although we are here at that. Well, it's pretty dry. Yeah, y'all like laughing at me. Okay. All right. So let me take this and shoot it with the hairdryer, and I'll be right back. Okay. So while we're waiting on that stuff to dry, we are going to add some enhancements to this piece. And I am thinking about adding some greenery and some pieces of holly leaves that I have here as well. It's a little bit bigger than the holly leaves that are in the picture, but that's okay. I think it'll be all right. We're just going to go ahead and play with it. I'll put the berries in the middle, and we'll have the greenery here, and then we can have some of this artificial greenery going around the edges. Put that around the edges, kind of, and we'll get my oops, we'll just cut these individually too. If y'all could hear my two little critters, they grab a hold of stuff and run off like they've won the prize. They've got something big to, I think I just messed that one up. Yeah. It's not gonna lay like those, so let's see how we do them. Maybe we'll do 3. Let's just do 3. We'll do 3. It's kind of not where I want it. Let me see if I can find another one. Be right back. Okay, so I found another one. I think I'm going to use some of this and this paint that I used earlier, kind of a sandstone, to kind of give it almost like a flock look. It's got, these pieces have some kind of brown paint on them anyways. So I'm just going to try to mask the brown paint. I'm not following why they put the brown paint on them. So I'm just going to use some of this to kind of flock it a little bit, with almost a tannish color too. So anyways, and I guess I need to flock these too. So let me flock these up a little bit. Flocking is obviously in this year. I don't know if you've been in Dollar Tree, but a lot of the stuff has flocking stuff on it. So it's really, I don't know what's going on with the idea of the flocking, but it's there. So we'll just add a little piece and give it a little more detail. And there we go. So what we're going to do is basically just glue this stuff down. So I'm going to keep y'all on air as I glue. This I'll let you watch me do. So I just put a little glue. I know I got some paint on me, but we're basically just trying to give it a little three-dimensional effect. I might even put in a bow at the top just to kind of add a little more effect to it. So we just glue these pieces down, and voila, huh? Is that what they say? Voila. Just don't burn your hands, right? Don't burn your hands. Oh, y'all, last week I burnt my hands really bad. Not my hands, but I was doing a little craft on the side and was not paying attention and had dropped some extra glue, and of course my hand reached, one of my fingers reached down and topped that glue just in the right time. And it was hot. Took the skin off my skin right there. So believe you me, when it's hot, it's hot. Okay, I got my cat fishing with my stuff. She's messing with me. Didn't realize she's playing with fire here. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit for just a few minutes and kind of get some, let it set a little bit. Getting paint all over me, but I'm gonna let that set. And we've got the holly in, we've got the pieces on here, and then I'll do some kind of ribbon. We'll get a Christmas ribbon on here. We'll oh no, I covered up the word. Y'all didn't even see that, did y'all? Cover the word up. Goodness gracious, I'm going to have to move that over just a little bit so the words don't get covered up. Goodness. All right, so just kind of giving it a three-dimensional effect, and that is for this one. And we will come back and we'll put a bow up here at the top. So that'll be our last piece that we'll add to that. Now let's get back to the next craft that I want to do, and it involves the hot glue gun as well. My piece is drying, so we're just going to let it dry and then we'll come back. So have y'all been in Hobby Lobby, and have y'all seen the get this paint spread out a little bit so it'll dry? Have y'all seen the bails on the ribbons? I just happened to be in Hobby Lobby and I saw it, and I thought, you know what, I can recreate that. So basically what I'm using is about 13 and a half inches of ribbon is what I'm using. And so basically it has the wire in it, so that really helps to keep it. So I just folded over this edge over about 1 inch. And then on the end, if you notice, if you go into Dollar Tree, you'll look at them. The ends are folded up in a, kind of like you're making an airplane out of paper airplane. So it's just, that's basically what it is. And so I'm just going to hot glue that down real quick. Yes, I am not going to touch that with my fingers. I'm going to use my piece right here to touch. I have a cat in my closet. Her name is Smitty. She likes to get into my stuff. Okay, so basically it makes a little tail on the end, and then this piece is, I'm going to glue it in a little bit. That's what we're going to use. Now, if I had, they're on like a wire, piece of round wire that you hang over your door. So what I'm going to use is a piece of jute string, and I cut it long enough to where I could tie it and still have enough to hang it onto my door. So that's what we're going to use for our hanger. But I had this Santa Claus. It was a pin at one time, back in the day. And then I had the faces to go with it, the smaller faces. So we're going to use the Santa Claus as our top decorative piece. And then I have 4 bails that we are going to hot glue onto the ribbon to create like a jingle bell, hanging a jingle bell. And I just thought this would be cute to put together. And I'm going to take these earring holders off. But just putting these on here and hot gluing these together and just making a nice little hanging, bell hanging thing. So I'm going to just go ahead and hot glue the Santa Claus onto my piece right here. And I am going to hot glue my bails down. I believe they kind of had them, I don't really understand how they connected them, but they look like they were hot glued, but then also they look like their piece of ribbon was cut. So I wasn't truly following how they had theirs designed, but you get the picture. And then we're just going to take the I have a backing on here that are super glued on. I'm just taking them off. And yes, they were super glued. Like super glued on back in the day. So I'm just going to stick them right in the middle just as a decoration piece. Recycling some stuff that I had in my craft thing. So now, of course, we're on parchment paper, so we should be able to pick it up once we get ready to pick it up. So I'm just going to take and put my piece, this piece, in here like so, and then I'm just going to tie it. I hope we're recording. I'm going to tie it here, and I just wanted to do just a real quick loop over and tie it into a kind of a knot. If you have some cute ribbon, you could probably put some cute ribbon in there, like a smaller type of ribbon. I thought the jute looked cute. And I'm just going to turn it over. So that's pretty much dry. Don't ask me how the black paint got on there, but it did, didn't it? And we're just going to take and, I don't know if y'all, I'm probably out of screen. I just put a little bit of glue on the top there, and I'm folding it back over. I'm going to get my piece over here so I don't burn myself, and tap it down so that it glues in place. So now it's in place, and it's a nice little hanger piece to hang on your doorknob for Christmas. And if you don't want your little knot showing, what I was thinking you could do is you could pull the knot. Oops, that's not dry yet. But you could pull the knot in between there. Or you could do little beads. That's another thing. If you have the wood beads, run the wood beads on there, and that way, you know, you get a cute little kind of a ring of beads. I didn't even think about doing the wood beads, so that's a good idea. You could do red and white beads. I don't have any wood beads on me, but I do have some pony beads. And I have seen in one video where they took the pony beads and they actually painted the pony beads. But it's just an idea I had, so I thought I'd share it with you, just a way of recreating a Dollar Tree project. So this is a bell project. All right, so let's go back and finish up on the snowflake. Okay, so while we're waiting on the masterpiece, we're going to work on the centerpiece here. So I'm going to be gluing this down onto this piece right here, and I'm just going to use I think I'm just going to use some hot glue. I'll put a little dab of hot glue in the middle here and glue that down right there like that. Now, I did tell you that we were going to kind of put some pearly essence on here. Got this almost like puffy paint, but it's a dimensional paint, and this is sparkle, so I wanted to add some sparkle too. I like the sparkle effect. So y'all, I should have shut my door. I shouldn't let these animals be roaming around in the room when I'm trying to film. They get my attention on whatever they're doing. Okay, so basically I'm just going to follow my lines here and add some three-dimensional effects to the snowflakes. And it's going to have that little bit of a glisten, just like a snowflake would. I'm just going to ignore what's going on in my room. If it helps, I'm going to try. Keep my attention on what I'm doing and get it done. Y'all have to apologize. I'm going to apologize to y'all if y'all hear anything. Hopefully they won't drop anything. Okay, so I'm just going to add, like this is the same one that we just did. And I'm just going to add some dimension to this too as well. And you'll still see once it dries clear, it'll have a glossy look, but it'll dry clear. Oops, no, that goes on here. All right, so our snowflake is complete. It's done, and it just needs to dry. And once it dries, then we'll put it in our centerpiece. So we finished this, And now it's just a matter of waiting for that bigger piece to dry. And as soon as it's dry, we'll come back. I think as I was drying it, I was kind of looking at it. I still think I'm going to put a second coat on it, but I'm probably going to do that off camera and just come back with the finished piece so that we can get our final pieces put on. And we can also give it some rustic look to it, enhancing the layers on it. So we'll be back, and yes, we need to put a ribbon on that last one. I haven't forgot about the ribbon. So we'll be back. Okay, so as you can tell, it is not drying. It's probably going to take overnight to dry. Got some pools right here, but I'm okay. I mean, I was like going to do a second coat, but I'm not too sure if I want to do a second coat because I'm okay with the kind of the gray coming through. I do want to do some of the burnt umber on, I'd like to add some, a little bit of texture on it, but I did want to go ahead and get the centerpiece hot glued on, even though I'm waiting for it to dry as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue since I have it hot and ready to go. We'll put some hot glue on my piece here, and then we'll get it on to the center. Just drop it down. Oop. One thing I realize is I can see my mistake with the hot glue that I did earlier. But that's okay. I think that looks good though. And then once I get the kind of the rustic look to it, I think that's gonna add. Alright, let's add some of this burnt umber. Kind of give it a little bit of rustic flair to it. And then we'll add the metal piece to the top, the foil to the top there to give that little top a kind of a run for its money. I'm gonna stick this brush over here. Get some burnt umber in my little, I'm just using one of these silicone cupcake dishes. Thinking I probably ought to, because I don't want to put, kind of want to, yeah, get that rustic. Boy, y'all getting the front of me like, oh yeah. But remember, I told y'all, I've never done this before, so this is new. I've never worked with this stuff. So I kind of want to give it that rustic little bit of a flair, but to kind of bring in those pieces out those pieces. So okay, be careful because I have some spots in here that are, they're pools. What is that looking like? Like a mess. Y'all seeing my mess I'm creating? Well, it's not exactly coming together the way I want it to come together, but oh well. Maybe in the end it will, oops, don't get it on the, sorry, I'm not watching what I'm doing. I'm kind of getting, oops. I'm kind of, I'm not going on dry, and my piece is not really dry either, so I'm running into that problem too. But I don't know if y'all can tell what I'm trying to, the effect I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the kind of effect of a rustic look, maybe, but also defining the pieces. Some of that old gray color that it was. Kind of get some of this brown in here. And get some, I think mixing in some of that wet is kind of helping. So we got a kind of a fine look here. I think it's coming out pretty good. Then we put the list. It will be unique, that's for sure. Definitely unique. You cannot deny the fact that it's unique. All right, so we got our little brown paint there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of foil and we're going to use that as our piece up here, just like we did on the last one. And basically, I'm just folding it over. I'm not gluing it or anything. I'm just attaching it because, again, I'm not selling it. Now, if I was selling it or putting it in some kind of craft show, I would actually have it glued on there so it's on there firmly. But I'm just going to basically put it on this way. Take my paintbrush and kind of make some indentions on it to kind of give it that look like it's a... And then I may take... Okay, this is a spur of the moment thought here. Could be scary to do this, but to kind of give it that rustic aged look. I don't know if that's gonna help my cause or make it worse. I know what y'all are saying. I can hear you talking in the background. Stick with floral design, Pam. Stick with floral design. Anyways, so this is not exactly a masterpiece, but once it dries, I think it's going to be something that's going to be kind of neutral. And I think it's going to be okay. I think it will be all right. I think it's going to work out. And I kind of like that neutral look of a piece. It's not moving. I feel like, I was going to see if it's moving, but it's not really moving. And it's looking pretty good. So I like it. I like the finished product. It's kind of a muted color, not too much of the gray showing through. So let's finalize this piece. I think these pieces kind of look good together. Look at that, a matching set. Isn't that pretty? Well, we're just going to add a quick bow to this one. I'm going to try to see if I can put this down and not get any paint on it. I thought, since we have the green and we have some red in here, that this ribbon would look okay with this. So I'm just going to make a quick bow. You will work with me on this one. We'll get a quick bow, make a quick bow. We're just going to do a simple, nothing dramatic, but just a simple little bow. And we'll just take and not make anything like fancy dancy. Gonna do a little loop in the middle here and twist the ribbon so that we get, probably don't even need a loop in the middle, but we'll do that and put little tails and stick it right there. And let me get a pipe cleaner real quick, and we'll take and tie that bow down and fluff it up a little bit and get it in place. Okay, so I just tied a pipe cleaner on the end of my onto my ribbon, and I'm gonna shape my ribbon to make my bow. And we're gonna get our bow set with the streamers hanging down the way that we want them to do, and get this. I just wanted to make a simple bow. I didn't want to do a big puffy poofy bow. I didn't feel like that it needed. I think really what I want the focal point to be is the berries. Why am I getting black? I guess I have paint on my hands. Whoop. Preferably don't do this when you have wet paint on your hands. That would be a good idea. So I'm just going to glue the bow right here in that spot. I forgot to cut the pipe cleaners. This is a great day. Okay, we're going to cut those pipe cleaners down. Probably need to let it set up first. well, okay. Nothing like getting yourself all together. All right, I'm not. So what do y'all think? I gave a little 3-dimensional on this one and put a little bow on it. It's not the perfect bow, but it's a little bow. I don't want to make it too poofy. Give it a little color, a little dimension. And so we got 2 different designs here. We're going with a matted look, kind of a natural look Christmas. So you'll have to stay tuned to see how this turns out. I will go ahead. I think what I'm going to do too, and I'll do this off camera, is I'm going to use some of this jute twine, and I'm going to attach it to the back here. Probably go ahead and do that. I'm going to take about this much, and since I have my hot glue gun out and it's hot and ready to go, just gonna drop me some hot glue right there, stick my pieces in right there, grab a piece of ribbon, and voila, get my little thumbnail here. And now we have a string in which to hold up our design. And so that takes care of this one. We'll let it sit and solidify. And then we will go ahead and do this one too. I know that this one's wet, but let's go ahead and get a string put on this one. Nobody's gonna see the back anyways, so I'll go ahead and do the same. Do a little string and drop a glue on either side, and put my jute string in the hot glue, and then get me some ribbons to hold it down in place. Ooh, fun. Grab my ribbons, pieces of ribbons, get my thumbnail and put it in place. Hold that in place, and that way it will have a little hanger so that when we hang up, uh-oh, I just smashed my snowflake. I can fix it, no problem. I can replace that stuff. We'll let that sit up for just a little bit. Don't want to pull that through. Looks like it's pulling that string through. Push it down. All right, so I don't know what you think. We did a little bit of everything tonight. We did this ribbon, this ornament. We did this other ornament, kind of a natural type of ornament. And we also did a recreation of a Dollar Tree bell, and with the snowman and the bells. So thank you for coming and joining me tonight. If you like this video, please like this video, subscribe so that you can see future videos that I make. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you let your friends know and let them check out what I'm doing. Bye.